Hello and welcome back. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, once again, and I'm doing another one of these vlog things. And over the last week, I had a major problem with my computer. I know I showed you guys off, I think it was maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, of what my system was, with the two computers and all that involved that, and it's now beautiful outside, right? So I'm no longer vlogging about snow. But one of the things that happened was that I turned off my computer because there was a thunderstorm coming through, tornadoes, you know, cars flying through the air, tree branches, you know. It was bad stuff. I turned my computer off to protect it because I was being very thoughtful of my computer. I didn't want it to have any issues. But when I went to turn it back on, it did one of those BIOS things where it kind of forgot what your BIOS settings were, and I got this motherboard that is an MSI, and like right here, look at this, the manual, right? MSI X99S, sort of like overclocking thing, whatever it is. But it does this thing where it decides whether or not you want to back up to a previous last known good configuration. I thought, well, all right, I'll do that one. I'll pick, you know, one of these bad options. The problem is that it forgot that I have rated hard drives, the ones that my operating system are on, because I have the Intel Rapid Response thing, which, if you don't know what it is you can use a 60 gigabyte SD or something smaller, and then that works as a SD cache for your platter disk, which can be, you know, 6 terabytes or whatever. So that way you get the SSD response time, but on a platter disk capacity, as long as it loads it up a few times. But I mean, all in all, it's kind of like the best of both worlds right now, because SD hard drives are just simply, they're just too expensive. I mean, you're talking about $300 for a 1 terabyte hard drive, and that's, I mean, it's fast, but it's it ain't worth it. At any rate though, the whole thing is that it decided to forget that it had RAID, so it didn't boot up properly, and then Windows tried to fix it, and it nuked it. Absolutely nuked my Windows install there. So I spent 2 days recovering that, and as it turned out, I was able to just install Windows again onto that hard drive, and then take everything from my windows.old file and drop it right back in. So it went stupid, but it ended up working out so well. Like, I went to start up my Steam even without installing Steam, and it started working out anyhow. It said it wasn't installed correctly, it fixed itself and started right up, and all the games that were inside of Steam as well worked out really good as well. Unfortunately, Origin didn't do so good, but hey, Steam has always been one of those very impressive things when it comes to being able to move files between systems. It's just crazy. Even if you wanted to, you could move your games between systems by just going into the Systems app folder and then copying that game from one computer to another. If you happen to have like a big external hard drive and you don't want to download the whole thing again, you can do that, and it'll actually work out. It'll go to install it and verify the files, and then pick up whatever gaps that you haven't dealt with. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind, and that's one thing I've been dealing with over the last couple of days here, and it's been pretty stressful. So I haven't made as many videos. However, there are a couple of games that I've tried to start playing here. I have been playing this new game called Block and Load, which is it's in beta right now. I kind of have the beta weekends going down. It's kind of an ugly looking game. I'm not a big fan of its artistic style. However, the concept behind the game is actually pretty interesting. What it is a dropping my crap. All right, you could stay on the ground. All right, dude. Seriously, trying to juggle two things: a camera, and whatever. Block and Load. Block and Load is this game that is kind of like a Minecraft FPS tower defense sort of thing. It's a game that I haven't actually ever played at all, so it's different. And because it's different, I decided to give it a try. And it is pretty cool. However, I feel like it might be a little bit too complex, so I don't know if it's actually going to work out. Decided somebody's going to go and mow the entire yard around here, so I'm going to go back inside where it's a little bit more quiet. But anyhow, I've been trying Block and Load. I'll be showing you guys a little bit of footage on that on my channel here as I develop, or should I say, as I play the game, not develop the game. I don't develop games. That's not what I do. So that's one of the games that I've been playing here recently. I've also been playing some Dragon Age Inquisition. Pretty cool game. I'm having a hard time really getting into the game though. I kind of figured the game would hook me within the first few hours, but I'm kind of like wandering around just doing quests. And that's the problem I always have with RPGs. So I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it. But hey, Dragon Age Inquisition, I've been playing the game. That's what I've been doing. Outside of that, I watched a movie called Interstellar. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love that movie. Probably one of the best I've seen this year, if not the best I've seen this year. I mean, if you are into my Kerbal Space Program stuff, then this is the movie for you. But that has really inspired what I'm doing here in the Kerbal Space Program, which you haven't seen yet. But I will be finishing up that series, Rescue from the Mun, this week. That's on my to-do list. Everything else is up in the air, and hopefully I will produce 3 good videos this week, because that's kind of my goal. But hey, goals don't always work out. At any rate, hopefully the weather is very nice where you guys are, and that you guys are trying out some new games. Check into Block and Load. Let me know what it looks like. See if it's interesting. And I'll be putting up some footage of that, and who knows, maybe that'll become a game that I cover, or maybe not. I'm trying to find another arena third-person shooter or first-person shooter, doesn't really matter. However we want to call that. I don't know, I call them arena FPS. That's kind of the title I get for that Unreal type style. But I'm looking at different games. There are some that are coming up here. I think Watchmen, no, maybe not Watchmen, whatever it is. The one that Blizzard's making, that one's got my attention because Blizzard just doesn't seem to be able to fail at whatever they do. So I got high hopes for that. Team Fortress 2, I know everybody continues to say, hey, you should do some stuff on Team Fortress 2. I played the game when it first came out, quite a bit. And I don't know, it's kind of different now, and it's a little bit intimidating to get into, so I'm not sure that's going to happen. But hey, maybe. Maybe I can get into it again. I kind of doubt it. But that's what's been going on here, guys. Hopefully things are pretty cool on your end. As always, guys, stay awesome. Peace. I'm out.